Hey, what's up, guys? Today I just wanted to do a quick video on how to alter the color of clothing inside of a photo. So what we're going to do is go into Photoshop, Photoshop Creative Cloud, File, Open. We're going to grab our file here. We've just got your standard deposit photos. I chose a flamenco dancer. She's got this vibrant red dress on, so I thought that'd be a good example. Click on Open. And I'm just going to double click here, hit OK, and then what I'm going to do is I'd like to make a couple of paths, because sometimes when you start altering the dress and playing with the hues and saturation, it can alter their skin a little bit and play with that. So I want to separate that and put it on a different layer, and we're probably going to just go ahead and do that with some paths. So I'm going to zoom in here and just really quick knock these out. So I've got my path tool here. I prefer to start here at her shoulder. Just do some quick paths, and for the sake of time I'm going to go rather quickly, so it may not be as smooth as I would prefer it to be if I were doing this for a customer. But again, this is a quick tutorial, so I'm just using the path tool here and expanding the handles to follow the shapes and contours of her arm, using Alt to get rid of that handle. Going around the fingers here, going around these fingers. And I would recommend that you guys try and take advantage of the pen tool in both Photoshop and Illustrator. I use them quite a bit because they allow me to have a little bit more control of what it is I'm trying to isolate. And I just think it's an all-around good tool to use and to have. So we're coming up her arm here. And as time goes on and you continue to use this pen tool, you'll get a lot faster. You'll become more comfortable with it. You'll learn, exactly what you can and cannot get away with. And just, be able to add that to your arsenal. And if you go to the Path tab over here, you can see that it's saved it. And what I like to do is just go ahead and select that, hit OK. You can call it path 1, you can call it arm, you can call it body isolation, you call it whatever you want. But I would recommend that you save it just so you have an idea of what path it was. If you want to do a separate path for her arm and for her neck and head area, that's fine. Or if you want to just keep it all on the same path, that's fine too. And what I'll do is I'll show you guys just what it's like to have it on a separate path. And we're just going to do her dress. We won't worry about her hair here and the flowers, because that takes a little bit more time. So what I'm going to do is just a quick generic isolation. Let me backtrack here. Go back one more. And I'm actually going to come down this side of her dress and just isolate the arm with it as well. And I'm just kind of clicking here, zoom in, got that. So I've got my path saved. And what I'm going to do here is I've got my path selected. I'm just going to right click, make selection, anti-alias is checked, new selection, feather radius 0, hit OK. Go back to my layers tab, add a new layer, edit. You know what? Let's not do a cut. Edit, copy. Oh, sorry about that. Make sure that layer is selected. I get to do that sometimes, making sure that that specific layer is selected. So make sure that that layer is selected, or else Photoshop's going to give you that dummy error. Edit, copy. Command D to deselect it. Select your layer that doesn't have anything on it yet. Edit, paste special, paste in place, and you want to do paste in place for sure to make sure that it actually pastes directly over top of it, so it's a seamless transition and you really can't tell and it won't move at all. So I'm a big fan of naming my layers. We'll call this body, and we'll call our layer below it dress. Hit enter. Let's zoom out. Now we're ready to start changing some of these colors. And just in case, you know, if you've got something selected like auto select and you accidentally tap on the body layer, I would just go ahead and lock that. Select dress and go up to image, adjustments, hue and saturation. You can also do color balance too to get a little bit more detail, but for the sake of time, you know, we'll just go ahead and focus on the hue and saturation tab. So if you take your color slider here, and before that take the hand just to kind of get a better isolation of her dress, you can now take the slider tool and begin to move that to the left and see the difference it's going to make in her dress color. So it makes it like more of a purple to blue, turquoise, and if you go to the right, a yellowish gold, start to get to a green, deeper green, and that turquoise. So let's say you want to do just several options, and if you wanted to go back to where it was with no change, just hit 0, hit OK. We'll come down here, right click, and then click on duplicate layer. We'll call this one red dress. We'll call this one blue dress. And we'll duplicate the layer one more time. Let's call this green dress. Click OK. So we've got red. We can go ahead and hide that. Let's do green. Again, we go back to image, adjustments, hue and saturation. Let's get a nice green there. That looks pretty good. We'll hit OK. We'll hide that layer. Click the eyeball to turn it off. Go down to blue, image, adjustments, hue and saturation. I think blue was to the left. Yep. Now we've got a nice blue dress. And when you go back up to look at the different options, you've got blue, green, and red. And that's what it looks like with just the body layer by itself. Turn on your red, turn on your green, or your blue. And that is how you change the color of a dress or any other type of clothing.